Long, long ago when I was in high school, I had never heard the word anthropology. Somehow I came across a book by Margaret Mead called Male and Female. And the premise of the book was that gender, how men are, how men behave, how women are, how women behave, depends on what society you grow up in. And for somebody in a California high school before second wave feminism, this was an incredible revelation. And if this was what anthropologists studied, I wanted to know more. I went to the University of California. As a junior, I had an opportunity to spend a year in Hong Kong. I was hooked. As soon as I graduated, I joined the Peace Corps and went to Korea and spent 3 years there. And then my path was set. I think the most difficult thing about immersing oneself in Korean culture is the language. I mean, to do real anthropology, you have to really speak what people speak. Language enables you to understand not just what people tell you in a formal interview, but what they say to each other. Korean is a very difficult language. When Koreans ask me, how did you ever learn to speak Korean? I always answer, I learned it in tears. One day I was taken to a shaman ritual, and the shamans were women. And they were wearing these spectacular silken robes, and they were speaking with the authority of the gods. And the men, where were the men? The men were in the corner for once. And one very angry god, I believe it was a family mountain god, sees the master of the house in the corner, strides over, pulls him by the ear, gives him a tongue lashing. I don't know what she said. My Korean wasn't good enough yet, but it made a deep impression on me. I said, I can study this. In this corner of Korean society, my gender is going to be an advantage. I began studying questions of women, gender, and ritual, whether ritual reinforced what people talked about as Korean patriarchy, or whether the rituals women performed in some sense gave them a special space, a special sense of women's culture. That developed into a study of weddings and how weddings had changed over time as notions of gender, of what a good woman is, what a good man is, had changed over time. I take voluminous notes. I'm a compulsive writer. I do what Margaret Mead did. You take what are called scratch notes. You're in the field and you're making quick notations. Ideally, you're still with your eyes on your subject. And then at night, hours and hours of trying to reconstruct what people said. I've done some research in Vietnam. It's teamwork. It's work with Vietnamese colleagues who are the eyes and ears of the project. Because anthropology in Vietnam is developing, I bring training to the project, I bring the conceptualization of the project, I bring the editing and sculpting of the project into a published article. Everything I do in Vietnam, if I do it well, they're not going to need me in 5 years, and that's good.